The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet, with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my site, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. No retribution. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We're syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. To my right, your left, John Walsh, who is a candidate for the state legislature here in Michigan. He represents Livonia, which is my old hometown. Somebody was joking in text before the show started, by the way, and this can torpedo a guy's career, that, oh, this is Gary's marijuana plant behind him, so I decided to pretend, like I was, and I tried to get you to, but he's like Bill Clinton. I will tell you, he did not inhale.
Didn't even touch it.
Didn't even touch it. It's not, obviously, it's a very nice fake plant here at Schoolcraft College. Schoolcraft College, nice enough to host us today. For the program, we've had a lovely tour of southeastern Michigan, coming in to talk about the economic situation. John, you're a very interesting candidate. Before we get into all of that, I want to tell you, and you're not expecting this, but I want to thank you for your support for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund, which is based here in Michigan, but helps soldiers and their families all across the nation. I'm a big proponent of what the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund does. You and I actually hooked up at the annual dinner when Ollie North spoke. Ollie North was on the show prior to his appearance on at the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund, and right then and there, you got my vote. Anybody who supports the fund,
well, I appreciate that.
My guy.
It's a great fund. It really is.
And they do great work. And it's real interesting because it's very bipartisan. You've had people who support the war, support the fund. People who are opposed to the war support the fund. It's not about that. It's about doing what's best for our brave men and women who we send into harm's way, whether we agree or disagree with the policies that send them there. They are doing their duty to this nation. We should never forget that. So I wanted to get that out of the way first because really that's, to me, more important than your campaign.
And we actually have a little bit of news. Jim Fausone, who's very involved with it as well, is on our foundation board here at Schoolcraft, where I'm presently working, and our foundation board will be considering a scholarship as part of next year's event, where we'll fund veterans and fallen and wounded families or soldiers that need assistance. We're actually going to be working on that. So
okay, a round of applause for Schoolcraft College in anticipation that they're going to do this. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Detroit, there are two major newspapers, the Detroit News and the Detroit Free Press. The Detroit Free Press is a liberal newspaper. The Detroit News is conservative. As one might anticipate, the News endorsed Senator McCain for president. The Free Press endorsed Barack Obama. It is very rare, very extremely rare, that those newspapers will agree editorially on anything. So it's great when you live here, that despite all the problems in southeastern Michigan, there are still two newspapers. They are very vibrant in their competition, and you get to see and read 2 points of view. The News of the Free Press both endorsed John Walsh.
They did.
You are a conservative Republican running against a liberal Democrat, and even the Detroit Free Press endorsed you. How the hell did that happen?
Well, I think what people recognize, and what I try to impress upon people is that, yes, I have conservative values, and they're fiscal and how we run our house, and they are also social. But nevertheless, I am capable of working with people. And that's what we're missing, I think, right now in our dialogue at the state and the national level, is the ability to work across the aisle and do what's right. Things are so severe in our state that if we can't work together, if we can't get past just ideology, we're doomed. It's bad enough as it is.
Oh my God,
so
is it bad
that
here?
has been my 2-second stump speech. I mean, it really is that simple. We have to work together. You don't have to vacate your positions to do that. You just have to listen and find the common ground. It sounds simpler than it is, but if you don't start there, you'll never get anywhere.
You know, traveling across the country, not in a lot of states, but I spent time on this trip in Ohio and Pennsylvania because they're both swing states. Michigan was supposed to be a swing state. Why McCain gave up the ship here, I don't know. Couldn't have helped you. Anybody with an R next to their name, it doesn't help you. But we decided to come here anyway because of the economic situation. But when you are in Pennsylvania, when you're in Ohio, when you are in Florida, when you are in Virginia, when you are in West Virginia, when you are in Arizona, when you are in New Mexico, when you are in any of the battleground states, you are deluged with negative campaigning, both the Democrats and the Republicans. The perception is the Republicans worse than the Democrats, but I will tell you that it's both Democrats and Republicans. CNN just today did a piece about this problem, because it is a problem. People are very weary of it. If it's not on television, it's on radio. If it's not on radio, it's something dropped on your doorstep. Most insidious are the robocalls. Your phone rings, you're at dinner with your family, the phone rings, and hi, my name is so-and-so. You know me from, I was the little guy in All in the Family or something, you know, and let me tell you why you should support or why you should oppose, and it's just horrible stuff. And you have been forthright in your acknowledgement that your party, as well as the Democrats, have been participating in this kind of tactic, and you have been, in spite of that, very publicly speaking out against it.
Right. Well, it's not at the national level, and my speaking out came in my race. The party, without my knowledge or involvement, decided to go negative on my opponent. This is somebody that I've known for years, somebody that I've respected, have treated well in my debates with him, when we've met with each other. All of my material, all of my presentations have been positive. And then they just dump in a horrible literature piece.